We have an important update on tomorrow's winter storm, as new data indicates snowfall totals will be significantly higher than first predicted. Our confidence is growing that this storm will cause major travel disruptions across a large portion of the Midwest and Great Lakes. A broad area of 6 to 12 inches of snow is now expected, but the very core of this system is going to bring a much stronger impact. Cities like Milwaukee, Chicago, Des Moines, and Grand Rapids are right in the bullseye where more than a foot of snow is possible, especially in narrow bands where the heaviest snow develops. Across the most significant parts of this storm, snowfall rates could exceed 2 inches per hour, especially from Saturday night into early Sunday morning. Snowplows may struggle to keep the roads clear, and visibility will drop very rapidly as strong winds take over. Blowing and drifting snow will cause near-whiteout conditions at times, making travel dangerous, if not impossible. In this forecast, we are going to break down exactly what you need to know about this winter storm and what has changed over the last 24 hours to bring even more significant snowfall to your region. Now, we have a great deal to discuss in this forecast, including 2 different winter storms that will be impacting the United States over the next 7 days. The first of these storms is going to begin tonight and continue all the way through Sunday. So let's talk more about this particular winter storm. Beginning with what is happening tonight, snow will start to fill in across the Dakotas and also into Iowa and Missouri. Most of the snow will be light to moderate for a time, but it will certainly become much heavier as we go into the overnight hours. So this picture here shows the conditions right around midnight. Snow is expected to blanket all of Iowa by midnight. Northern Missouri, western Illinois, and southern Minnesota will begin to experience light to moderate snowfall. This will start to cause some problems, but the worst of the problems are not expected to happen until Saturday. By Saturday morning, heavy snow is truly going to intensify. Notice how many dark blue areas we see by Saturday morning across Iowa, Nebraska, and also back towards St. Louis. This is where snow accumulation will rapidly increase. On top of that snowfall, rates will be up to 2 to 3 inches per hour, which means that snow will accumulate very quickly across these areas. And then later Saturday morning, that is when some of the worst impacts are going to be felt across Iowa and Illinois. That is because heavy snowfall is going to become a much greater concern. Very strong wind gusts will also be occurring, which means we will have to contend with snow drifts and blowing snow. And this will create the possibility of near blizzard conditions across Iowa and Illinois. Please keep in mind tomorrow is a Saturday, which is already a busy day for travel. And with the Thanksgiving holiday having just ended, it is unfortunate, but the roadways are likely going to be quite busy tomorrow, even though we have widespread winter storm warnings posted all across Iowa, Illinois, and Wisconsin. By lunchtime, the snow will be at its heaviest in those dark blue areas. That is in southern Iowa and central and western Illinois. This is again where the snowfall rates will be up to 3 inches per hour. However, almost all of Iowa will be dealing with snow all morning long, which means that snow is just going to continuously accumulate, meaning our snowfall totals in places like Iowa could be as high as 18 inches in some areas. That is how significant this winter storm is going to be. And over the past 3 years, we have not had very many significant winter storms in the Midwest. This is definitely going to be one of the more significant weather events in recent memory. By the afternoon hours, a lot of the snow will start to move off to the east. One notable thing that will be happening during the late morning and early afternoon is that our snow line is going to be lifting to the north. And that is because a great deal of warm and moist air will be pushing up from the Gulf of Mexico, which means areas like St. Louis and across most of central and northern Missouri, you will transition from all snow over to more of a snow and rain mix. This means any snow that accumulates will become very slushy in those areas. And another thing I want to note is that the northern side of this winter storm and also the western side is where some of the most significant snowfall will be occurring. So by around 2 o'clock, we're going to have some very heavy snowfall all across central and eastern Iowa and northwestern Illinois. And then Chicago is really going to start to see things ramp up during the afternoon hours. Also, if you are back over in Milwaukee or southern Wisconsin, you will begin with light snow for most of the morning. It will get a lot more steady and a lot more moderate by the afternoon. So the snowfall accumulation will really begin to pile up mainly during the afternoon and evening hours. By 4 to 5 o'clock, closer to sunset, a lot of the heavy snowfall will be centered across northern Illinois. Most of Iowa will be seeing more of a light snow by this point. And then as we go into the evening hours, the snow is just going to be blanketing all of the Great Lakes region. We will still have snowfall in Wisconsin, even by around 10 o'clock tomorrow night, and in northern Illinois. Indiana, Ohio, and northwest Pennsylvania, you folks will start to see snowfall by around 10 o'clock. But this low-pressure system is going to move off very quickly to the northeast. As it does so, it will become less organized, which means snowfall accumulation as we go into the late evening Saturday and into Sunday will be a lot less significant than what we're talking about across the Midwest. So, if you are back in New York, Pennsylvania, or Ohio, I do not think we will be talking about major snowfall accumulation. However, there will be some localized areas that get over 6 inches of snowfall from this event. And then, late Sunday morning and going into the afternoon hours, most of the snow is going to start to move out of the United States. The only snow left over will be mainly across northern New England and upstate New York. There will be a little bit of lake effect snow on the backside of this system across western and northern Michigan and the upper peninsula of Michigan. That could lead to an additional 3 to 6 inches of snow. And then as we go into Monday and into Tuesday, we are tracking another big winter storm lining up all the way from the Central Plains back into the Northeast. We will talk more about that winter storm here in just a moment. Now, the biggest thing that has changed over the last 24 hours is how much snow we are expecting across the Midwest, the Ohio Valley, the Great Lakes, and the Northeast. And it is a huge increase. The latest National Weather Service forecast is indicating that we are expecting a widespread 1 foot of snowfall. Yes, 1 foot of snowfall across most of central and eastern Iowa, southern Wisconsin, northern, and even central Illinois, and back into Michigan and Indiana. This is a huge increase in the forecast. Before we were only thinking maybe 6 to 10 inches of widespread snowfall. Now it is closer to a 9 to 15 inch range of snowfall that we are expecting to be widespread across all of the Midwest pretty much, and also across the Great Lakes regions, with the most significant of that snowfall being located near Davenport, where I forecast about 14 inches of snowfall. Davenport will probably see right around 14 inches. Milwaukee, 14 inches of snow. Chicago, closer to 8 to 10 inches of snow. And then over near Kalamazoo, you will likely see right around 10 to 12 inches. If you're over in Indianapolis, I'm thinking around 5 to 6 for St. Louis. You folks are only going to have a few hours of snowfall because of that transition from snow to rain during the afternoon. So those areas are likely only going to see around 3 to 4 inches. And even then, it is going to be a very slushy snowfall in that particular region. And back over in Sioux Falls, we are looking at right around 6 inches of snowfall. Here is a more zoomed-in view of the Midwest in case you need a closer look at what you're expecting in terms of snowfall in your location. Again, these numbers are significant. We are going to be live on this channel tomorrow covering this winter storm. We might even have a short live stream with a question and answer session tonight on our YouTube channel. So please make sure you're subscribed and click the bell icon so you're notified when we do go live. This is going to be a big winter storm. We will have plenty of live storm chasers and cameras across the Midwest covering every angle of this weather event. Also, this is another scenario that could unfold. This is the HRRR model. This is the model I just showed you with the future radar. This model is indicating that we could even have some spots in areas like Iowa or even in western Illinois that pick up around 15 to 18 inches of snowfall, with the highest snowfall total being near 22 inches of snowfall just off to the west of Des Moines. That is entirely possible, by the way, so make sure that you are preparing for this winter storm. If you have any intentions of traveling on the roadways over the next 24 hours, please take it slow, and I really do not recommend doing so in the Midwest if you can help it. We already have a very high likelihood of major travel impacts tomorrow across many areas, from Chicago all the way into western Iowa and back over near Omaha, Nebraska. And here are the latest watches and warnings from the National Weather Service. We do have winter storm warnings in effect anywhere in the pink, which is basically almost all of Michigan, most of Wisconsin, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, all the way through Iowa and Minnesota. We also have winter weather advisories in effect in the purple, which goes from Montana all the way into northwest Ohio. So please make sure that you're ready for this winter storm. Have flashlights ready to go as well in case there are power outages. I do think we're going to see some power outages tomorrow with how significant our snowfall is going to be. And obviously on the roadways, if you have any intention of traveling, I do urge you to please take it slow on the roads as conditions are going to be quite dangerous. Now, to help you visualize just how hazardous the travel will be tomorrow across the Midwest, this is the forecast from the Weather Prediction Center illustrating the storm's intensity. We're expecting major travel impacts anywhere you see highlighted in red. This area extends from Des Moines through Davenport and into the northern parts of Illinois near Rockford. We also see a red area over Chicago and Milwaukee, where significant travel difficulties are very likely tomorrow. Anywhere in the orange, which indicates moderate impact, stretches from Omaha all the way back to Kalamazoo and also near Grand Rapids in Michigan, as well as through central Illinois near Springfield. And then for the areas shown in yellow, at least minor travel impacts are forecasted. This includes most of Michigan, Ohio, central Indiana, including Indianapolis, and also through St. Louis. The most important advice I can give is that if you do not have to travel tomorrow, please stay home. It is simply going to be dangerous out there. Once again, we will be broadcasting live for most of the day to keep you updated on what conditions look like. So please make sure you are subscribed to the channel and select the notification bell so you will be alerted when we do go live. Now, this is not the only winter storm we are anticipating over the next 7 days across the United States. In fact, it is likely we will see another significant winter storm as we head into the beginning of next week, which is only a few days away. What will happen is that as we go into Monday afternoon, we will have moisture moving up from the Gulf combined with moisture coming over the Rockies. A mix of snow. Perhaps some freezing rain and regular rain will be possible across the Ozarks and through the Central Plains. There is also a possibility of some ice accumulation in Arkansas. This is quite concerning, of course, since Arkansas is not accustomed to seeing significant ice accumulation during the winter. Therefore, this could cause major problems on Monday. But as we move into Monday night and into Tuesday, this storm system is expected to grow much larger and become far more organized. As these two different air masses combine, we could see widespread snow from Missouri, Kansas, and Oklahoma all the way through Michigan and Ohio. On the other side of the system, right between the rain and the snow, some ice accumulation could occur in Kentucky. Ohio, and even into Indiana, Illinois, Arkansas, and Missouri. This means we could be facing some major travel problems as we head into Monday night and early Tuesday morning. On Tuesday, this winter storm becomes even more organized and continues to expand, and this is when we will likely see the most significant impacts on travel. Across the board, the heaviest snowfall accumulation is expected on Tuesday, particularly across Ohio, Pennsylvania, New York, and all the way through New England, where we could have a legitimate nor'easter on our hands. So things are about to become very interesting in the world of weather, especially since this could be our first significant nor'easter in several years. We have not had many nor'easters that have produced a major snowfall event recently. This one certainly has the potential to be a major event with widespread totals of 12 inches or more of snow on the table. It is not a certainty, but it does look much more likely than before that we will be discussing a major winter storm during the start of next week. Then by Wednesday and Thursday of next week, that system should move out of the area. Beyond that, more chances for snow are possible toward the end of next week, but they will not be nearly as widespread as what we are expecting to see over the next 5 days. So if this nor'easter is as powerful as the GFS model is currently indicating, there is a genuine possibility that a widespread area of 1 foot of snowfall or more would be on the table stretching from Pennsylvania all the way through central and northeastern New England. That would include places like New Hampshire, Vermont, and even western and northern Massachusetts. But please notice how sharp the cutoff line is between very heavy snow and almost no snow at all. This is a very typical nor'easter setup for New England, and it could be on the table for Tuesday. However, the European model is showing a storm track that is much farther south and is also forecasting a lot less snowfall in general. That model suggests more of a widespread 3 to 6 inches of snow, with perhaps a few locations seeing around 8 to 12 inches. So, there is still a great deal to resolve with that next winter storm. We are going to have a much more detailed video for you on this topic on Sunday as we get closer to the event, where we will provide many more details. Please make sure you are subscribed to the channel. And as a friendly reminder, we have a large Black Friday sale going on at our website, shopmaxvelocity.net. You can use the code Black Friday to receive $5 off on any order of $50 or more, including items from our brand new top-selling cheese curd collection, which is named after my cat. We also have a lot of other wonderful items like our Happy Holidays and Supercell merchandise. You can see all of this by using the top link in the description below. We may be live tonight for a brief question and answer session where we can go over the latest details together. But if not, we will certainly be live tomorrow to cover the storm. There will be no regular video posted tomorrow, so please stay tuned, and we will see you all again in the next video or our next live broadcast.